This is the story of a retired government black ops agent who simply wants to live his remaining days in peace and quiet. But as you're about to see, sometimes quiet men are forced to make the most noise. Let's jump right into the plot. The movie introduces us to Robert McCall, a seemingly ordinary middle-aged man working at a local hardware store. He has one close friend, Ralphie, who is desperate to pass his security guard test and is strictly dieting to lose weight. Being a good friend, Robert often advises Ralphie to cut back on high-fat food to reach his goal. Robert lives a solitary life. After a long day at work, he returns to his small house, where he handles everything himself. Insomnia is Robert's constant companion, so every night, he keeps a routine, reading a good book until he just can't stay in bed anymore. When that happens, he heads to his favorite 24-hour cafe, bringing his own tea bag. It's there he often sees a young woman named Terry, though they have yet to formally introduce themselves. The next day, Robert follows his routine. But that evening, he and Terry meet again at the cafe. Their conversation is suddenly interrupted by a phone call for Terry. The caller is Slavi, a notorious Russian mobster who runs a trafficking ring and is Terry's pimp. Slavi demands that Terry immediately serve a client. Terry attempts to refuse and asks him to send another woman, but Slavi's intimidation works, and Terry is reluctantly forced to comply. Robert, understanding the grim reality of the situation, can only watch. The next day, Robert helps Ralphie train for his physical test. That night, back at the cafe, Robert finally connects with Terry. They talk, and Terry confides in Robert that she dreams of becoming a singer. As they step outside for some fresh air, a car aggressively cuts them off. It's Slavi. Terry is violently assaulted by Slavi right in front of Robert because she had previously upset a client. Robert watches in silent rage. Before leaving, Slavi approaches Robert and hands him a business card, just in case he needs services. Days pass, and Robert grows increasingly concerned because Terry hasn't been back to the cafe. The owner tells him Terry is in the hospital after being severely beaten. Robert visits her immediately. He finds Terry badly injured and lying helpless in the hospital bed. Terry's colleague explains that Slavi brutally punished her for disobeying the rules of the ring. Robert is visibly distraught. His quiet life is now overwhelmed by a single, agonizing question. Should he intervene and fight for justice, or should he remain a silent witness and risk a powerful threat? Slavi, meanwhile, is living large, heading to his luxurious office. It's there that Robert appears, unannounced. The mobster and his men are startled by this unassuming stranger who suddenly walks in. Robert has come to buy Terry's freedom, presenting Slavi with an envelope full of cash to pay off her debt. Slavi scoffs, rejecting the money and boasting that Terry is worth much more to him at work. He belittles Robert and orders him to leave. As Robert walks toward the door, he pauses. He knocks on the door 3 times, a small signal he uses to psych himself up, and then he lets his old skills take over. After a brutal, rapid takedown of Slavi and all his men, Robert is seen standing over the carnage, offering a quiet prayer and asking for forgiveness for the violence he just unleashed. The next day, Robert returns to his job at the hardware store, acting as if nothing happened. However, the power vacuum caused by Slavi's death draws attention. A new figure arrives via private jet, Teddy. Teddy is the fixer for Pushkin, a major Russian crime boss who is Slavi's superior. Pushkin orders Teddy to investigate the mysterious deaths, assuming it's a typical gang rivalry. Robert then learns that Ralphie has quit his job. He visits Ralphie's home and finds his mother's restaurant badly damaged by a fire. Ralphie had to leave work to help his mother rebuild. Robert offers his help in clearing the debris, deeply touching Ralphie. Robert's investigation reveals the fire was not an accident, but the work of 2 corrupt cops who had been shaking down Ralphie's mother for protection money. Robert tracks them down, teaches them a lesson, and threatens to release the CCTV footage of their extortion if they don't immediately return all the stolen money.
Fucking hurt more than the beating.
Meanwhile, Teddy is ruthless. He finds Terry's former colleague and interrogates her about Slavi's death. Once he gets the information he needs, he swiftly strangles her, leaving no witnesses. Later, Robert sees Ralphie back on his feet, now proudly wearing his new security uniform, having passed the test. Robert and his friends celebrate with a game of baseball. Robert's peaceful life is briefly interrupted by a young armed robber at the hardware store. The robber demands money and Robert's colleague's ring. Robert mentally calculates his moves to stop the crime, but he holds back when he sees the robber is armed and a small child is nearby. He tells his colleague to comply. However, after the robber drives away, Robert memorizes the license plate, grabs a hammer from the store, and hunts the man down. He recovers the stolen goods and gives the robber a brutal lesson. Teddy, now acting as a detective, visits Robert's home, asking about Slavi. Robert calmly answers his questions, maintaining his cover as an ordinary citizen. Teddy, still unconvinced, orders his men to dig deeper. Robert's civilian records show nothing suspicious. Teddy then attempts an attack, sending men disguised as utility workers to assault Robert at the cafe, but Robert sees through their ruse.
I can see him. We take a little walk across the street, me and you.
After easily taking out the attackers, Robert walks past Teddy, who is staking out the area from his car. Teddy pursues Robert back to his house. Robert, however, uses his experience to trick Teddy into believing he's fled the premises, while in reality, Robert is hidden and monitoring Teddy through his home security system. The next day, Robert seeks help from an old comrade, Susan Plummer, a still active government agent. He asks her to find everything she can on Teddy. Susan confirms that Teddy is a former Special Forces soldier now working for Pushkin. Robert, knowing he's involved now, asks for Susan's permission to finish the job. Robert begins his offense by targeting Frank Masters, a corrupt police officer and one of Teddy's associates. Robert forces Frank to take him to a warehouse used for Pushkin's illicit business, a meatpacking plant facade hiding an illegal money storage operation run by Pushkin's man, Andrei.
Who's this fucking piece of shit?
Is that a heckler cock? Can I see it?
Oh, you want to see my gun?
Everybody settle down. Indulge me, Andre.
Robert shuts down the operation, confiscates the cash, distributes it to the exploited employees, handcuffs Frank, and orders him to call the police for a full investigation.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That evening, as Teddy is having dinner with his assassin, Robert appears. He holds the assassin's broken glasses, a clear warning. Robert gives Teddy an ultimatum. Pushkin must shut down all operations immediately, or Robert will personally destroy his entire criminal network and kill everyone, including Teddy.
Make yours. Done some bad things in my life, Nikolai. When you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud, too.
Back home, Robert sends the FBI a file containing evidence of Pushkin's crimes, illegal fund transfers and photos of the trafficking ring. He then destroys Pushkin's illegal oil tanker, signaling the official start of their war. An enraged Pushkin pressures Teddy to eliminate Robert. Desperate, Teddy gathers his best men and calls Robert, threatening to execute Robert's friends if he doesn't surrender. Robert immediately heads to the scene to face Teddy in a final battle.
Здесь, Катус.
Так точно. В автобусе никого.
Amidst the chaos, Robert instructs Ralphie to free all the hostages.
I decided to come and see you.
I'll be waiting for you.
Robert systematically and efficiently eliminates Teddy's forces. Ralphie tries to help Robert escape, but during the exchange, he gets shot in the leg. After clearing out the rest of the armed men, Robert faces Teddy. With chilling ease, Robert kills Teddy using a nail gun. 3 days later, Robert travels to Moscow. He infiltrates Pushkin's secure residence effortlessly. Pushkin is taking a bath when Robert appears in his room, delivering a fatal, extreme brand of justice.
So it's you. What do you gain from my death?
Peace.
Are you there?
In the final scene, a recovered Terry meets Robert, thanking him for saving her life. She shares that she has found a new job, and with that, Robert's mission is complete, and the film ends. What do you think of Robert McCall's brand of justice? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more action movie like this, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next recap.